Hi guys, welcome to the second episode of the Alphabet, in which we slam dunk you into books, books, and more books. There was a time when reading used to be a solitary pastime, right? If your idea of paradise was curling up with a book and a tub of Baskin Robbins, you were probably looked upon as shy, introverted, and basically a dork. Today, that page is turned. Reading has become as much a communal activity as playing poker, participating in ice bucket challenges, or racing dirt bikes, which apparently is a thing now. Celebrities like Oprah and Reese Witherspoon have turned into paperback prophets, predicting with alarming accuracy which books are going to do well in the market. Bookstagrammers with perfect hair and too much zeal will ply you with their choices, and bloggers will reel you in with their finesse and their flourish. Still, there are too many books, too little time. The world has become one big bookshelf. According to one survey, more than 4 million books are published each year. How are you to keep yourself afloat in this bibliosea? For this, we got publicists and editors in some of the top publishing houses in the country, from Penguin to Bloomsbury to Rupa to Juggernaut to Simon and Schuster, to talk to you about the latest publishing trends, what books others are reading, and how you can look less clueless when your friends are discussing the latest romantasy by Sarah J. Maas.
Publishing has always been an extremely dynamic industry, but lately we've seen a lot of trends revolving around things that are doing well on the digital landscape. So a lot of authors that you see nowadays in the publishing houses are the authors who made a great mark on social media, people who come with a large scale of following, people who are legacy shapers and sort of trendsetters in different sectors. So you would see a trendsetter in the lifestyle space turn into an author. You will see a cricketer write a book about his journey on being a cricketer. Similarly, you will see someone in the business vertical who offers insights on stock market become a great author. One such example I have at hand is this latest book we published by R. Ashwin called I Have the Streets. The book has done extremely well. The cricketer has documented his wonderful journey, and these days the industry is not limited to just the authors. It's extending itself to people from all spheres of life.
Obviously, the latest trends are, as Pratik mentioned, that influencers and people from other spheres, other industries who are writing books about their journey, etc. But one genre that has stayed intrinsic and true to the publishing world is literary fiction. And at Penguin, we really strive to bring forth new voices, people, debut authors, who are writing about their journeys, their ideas, etc. In the past month, we have published various new debut fiction from multiple authors. Here are some examples. The Somnath Cipher, it is a historical fiction, a treasure hunt basically set in the Somnath temple. This is an exciting read for anyone who is looking for thriller books. A Person is a Prayer is a story of a family migrating from India to another country, and it's a extremely moving, funny novel, a debut work, and it has been regarded internationally as well. And then we have another work of a mystery thriller. This is basically a mix between, anyone who wants to read books like, Crazy Rich Asians. And this is an Indian answer for that. Again, a work of debut fiction. And like influencers, these authors do not come with a set following, but it is up to us as publishers to establish them, create more awareness through word of mouth publicity, target various verticals like media, reaching out to influencers to promote these books, which we are doing for all of them here by creating, exciting packages, influencer boxes, sending them out. And specifically for such books, what really works for us is word of mouth publicity through targeting bloggers, because bloggers and bookstagrammers, they have such a huge following now, and they come with their niche audience. And once a blogger promotes a book like this, do a read along, create an aesthetic reel, we see the books tend to pick up more, and likewise then they are picked up by more retail bookstores, chains who then want to put the book as their book of the month, book clubs, etc. So there are multiple avenues that we are using to promote such books.
Hello, I'm Priyanshi from Rupa Publications India and Aleph Book Company. I'm going to talk about the trends in literature. So one thing that we have picked up over the years is that non-fiction does really well. And non-fiction just as an umbrella term, but there are other buckets to it, right? So business books, spirituality, religion, self-help has been a pattern that has been loved by the readers. I've got a couple of books here for you to give you a reference. So this is Fallen City by Sudeep Chakravarti. It's a book by Aleph Book Company, and it's a non-fiction that talks about a double murder, a political insanity, and Delhi's descent from grace. It talks about the infamous Bilaranga case and how the entire trajectory of that case transpired. This book is so gripping. Once you hold it, you cannot keep it down. And from a business tangent is a new book called Your Company is Your Castle. And this book again teaches you how you can lead your company into fruition, how to build your wealth, and how to build a successful company. And from Rupa Publications, we have Autocrats by Rajiv Dogra. This talks about the charisma, power, and the lives the autocrats have lived. And it also asks the quintessential question, the tyrannical autocrats, are they born bad, or is it something in the world that shapes them to be? So these are some gripping titles from Rupa and Aleph, which I think you guys would love.
Okay, so at the moment, as I see publishing going, it's more towards a romantasy type of books. So books, for example, like Powerful. This is one of Lauren Roberts' books, which is doing really well. It's the first one in the series. There are two more. I think the latest one is called Reckless. So this is a genre that's I think doing quite well. Self-help, for example, is another one that's up and coming, and we've seen that through data which we get from different sources as well. So these are the two that I feel personally are the up and coming genres. Non-fiction, of course, tends to be an evergreen genre that's always strong. So there's one of our books, for example, Love in the Time of Hate or Shikwa-e-Hind. These are books that were very pertinent given the situation, in our country in the last few months and so on. So nonfiction remains a strong seller throughout the year. So in my short time in publishing, I've seen pretty much a sort of standard trends, but in India, for example, I think we've seen local languages really come up in the last 6 years that I've been in publishing. So regional languages and local language publishing, so Hindi mainly for us, for example, are the two areas where we see immense growth and immense potential also. If you go to the book fairs, for example, stalls that have local language books, people are always thronging to those. People come to us also to ask, do you have any Hindi titles, for example, and now, I think in the last 2 or 3 years or so, we've started stocking those as well. We've gone. So there's an author, for example, for us, Kevin Missel or S. Hussain Zaidi. Some of their books have been translated as well. So Colleen Hoover, for example, one of her books has now been translated. It Ends With Us, I think, has been translated into Hindi too. So we're seeing a big growth in that area. And I think pretty soon, you'll see all of these also moving down that path eventually. So yeah, for example, the next one, the latest one by Vikas Swaroop, who you all might remember of Slumdog Millionaire fame. This one will also be coming out in Hindi very soon. So yeah, so that's one place that all publishers should be, if they aren't. Yeah.
Now, the thing to know about publishing is that there aren't really big trends. The things that have always sold keep selling. And in India and the rest of the world, really what tends to sell is nonfiction. And Juggernaut is primarily a nonfiction focused publishing company. And that's one of the reasons is because we know that there's a greater readership in nonfiction. What kind of nonfiction? All kinds. I mean, one of the reasons why nonfiction tends to outsell fiction on the whole, of course, mostly the big breakout books that we hear about, whether it's Harry Potter or 50 Shades of Grey or the Thursday Murder Club, are novels and fiction. But if you look at the long tail and of a publishing business, I would say 60% upwards, the sales of their list will come from nonfiction books. Now, why is that? Because nonfiction is a single umbrella category for many kinds of books. So you might have, for example, a book that we've just published called Keep Moving, which is a health book. Or you might also have a book like The Many Lives of Saida X, which is one of the most brilliant books that Juggernaut's ever published, and it's a book of reportage. Or you might have this outstanding book, which is just a classic book of history by an ex-former diplomat, T.C. Raghavan, about the independence movement. Or indeed, you could have a book about trees. So all of these are nonfiction, but completely distinct from each other. And it's why there is, in that sense, a larger readership for nonfiction books. In terms of micro trends, so what are the books that are really selling within the world of nonfiction? I would say the same old. Celebrity always works. If there's a book that gets very good reviews, great word of mouth, that also sells a lot. Books that win prizes, particularly international prizes, sell a lot. That, of course, tends to happen on the fiction space. So if a book has won the Booker or the Man International Booker, they'll sell a lot in India. But really, the more things change, the more they stay the same. And you'll find it in yourself. The books that you've been wanting to purchase and read are really no different from the books you wanted to read in the past.
Unlike other businesses, I believe that publishing is the most frequent system. Where a lot of thinking goes into every step. So unlike other businesses where product could be a sweatshirt or a running shoe, for us it is the books, right? So the thing is that this is all organic stuff, and every book is a differentiated product. You can't treat two books the same way, even if they are in the same genre, if it is fiction, even if it is non-fiction. The way an author approaches his subject matter or what the output is, how the narration unfolds, these things matter. Now, we can say that once author has submitted the manuscript and he had to just sit back quietly and everything will be done. Marketing and publicity is really crucial for a book. And given the current scenario when Netflix and other things are also there, which are eating into the me time of a person, this entire thing has become hugely competitive. And the stakes are also quite high. I mean, books are not selling that much the way it should have. If you compare it with the decades of 70s, 80s, 90s, it's all dwindling. There are multiple challenges. So when it comes to marketing and publicity, it's a joint effort between the author as well as the marketer. Nothing can happen in isolation. We have to join forces, we have to join hands, we have to look at the overall credibility of the author, whether he has that social media following, or how many people he can bring on board in terms of collaboration and all that. So I will give some examples from the books from our stables. For example, A Single Spy. This is a book by Kalol Bhattacharya. Now, Kalol himself is a journalist. He works with The Hindu. Now, for this kind of a book, it's publicity-heavy book. So we will rely on publicity. That will be at the forefront. So I will see, what kind of network that Kalol has. I mean, I'll check with him, what he can bring to the table. And then I will tap into that networking. So then we talk about Taken Away. So this book has a different angle to it. It's about Tibetan spirituality, and by the author Dubung Tulku, who is no more alive. So the kind of people we'll reach out to for this book are from a different set altogether. We'll see for those kind of columns like Speaking Tree, people like Narayani Ganesh, how we can tap into that institution like Tibetan House. Let me speak about Embrace the Future. It's by R. Gopalakrishnan and Rishi Bhattacharya. Now, these two people are corporate bigwigs. So when we did this book, we had this clear-cut strategy for the authors. We wanted them to tap into their corporate network and also the business schools where they have that kind of honorary membership. So we devised a marketing campaign where the city tours across the business schools was part of this thing. It was staged into a marketing campaign. So Gopalakrishnan and Rishi both, went city to city to all the business schools and delivered their talks.
So that's it from us for now. Thank you guys, and until next time, adieu.